Kia ora, in the news today, the Law Society is reminding people that Jeremy McLaughlin's previous convictions will be taken into account at his sentencing for the murder of Christchurch schoolgirl Jade Bayliss. The jury deciding his fate wasn't told that the 35-year-old had been convicted of the manslaughter of Australian teenager Philip Vido in Perth in 1995. Law Society President Chris Moore says it's all about people being tried fairly.
There's always going to be some pressure when people become aware of previous convictions after a jury may have returned a verdict. But the previous convictions will still be of some relevance. The previous convictions are very relevant when it comes to sentencing.
The Economist, hired by Labour to crunch the numbers on its power price fixing policy, has hit back at the government over claims he's plucked figures out of the air. World Chief Economist Ganesh Nana says the figures speak for themselves, and if you reduce power prices, then you stimulate economic activity. Dr Nana says criticism of the timing of Labour's announcement and how it will affect the Mighty River power share float was effectively dictated by the government, leaving Labour no choice. Christchurch residents tonight are getting their last chance to ask questions over the proposals for the future of Cathedral Square. The Anglican Church has revealed 3 options to go forward, which are a restoration of the damaged Christchurch Cathedral, a traditional alternative, or a contemporary design. Those who want more information should be attending the Cathedral Forum from about 7:30 tonight at the Westpac Business and Community Hub. A 59-year-old woman has been rescued from a section of the Lindeman walking track near Katikati after becoming injured. She was rescued by the Bay Trust rescue helicopter just after 11 this morning after a bright orange tarpaulin was laid out to help spot where the woman was. The OCR remains at its historic low of 2.5%. It's now been at the same level since March 2011. Reserve Bank Governor Graham Wheeler has today reiterated that the bank doesn't anticipate a change in the rate this year, but he's also repeated his concern about the high New Zealand dollar and its impact on exporters. Overseas, and the surviving suspect in the Boston Marathon attacks has reportedly admitted his guilt. 19-year-old Jokar Sanayev remains in hospital after being shot in the throat. The Boston Globe is reporting he's confessed to planting the bombs at the finish line and gunning down a police officer in a shootout. Back home, a man arrested as part of the ongoing investigation into the shooting of road worker George Taiaroa has appeared in court today. The man, who's in his 70s, has appeared in the Rotorua District Court charged with a firearms offence. He's been granted name suppression and will reappear on the 16th of May. Scientists at Scott Base in Antarctica are preparing to mark the last sunset before the winter season arrives. Today sees the final hour of daylight for the next 4 months. Antarctic New Zealand Field Support Mike Rowe says the months of darkness are also the coldest months as well. 2 Romanian men accused of conspiring to skim an ATM have been further remanded in custody. Katlin Lechir and Bogdan Pavlescu appeared in the Wellington District Court today, charged with conspiring to access an ATM and preparing to commit a crime at Coastlands Mall in Kapiti. The 2 have been remanded in custody until their next appearance next week. A new test could see companies in the UK introduce fingerprint tests to see if employees are still drunk from the night before when they clock on at work. The new device uses near-infrared light to measure blood alcohol content in the skin, and it gives employers a result in just 8 seconds, which makes it possible to test 450 employees an hour. Public sector staff, transport and security industries are most likely to be targeted. That's all for now. Thanks for joining us, but from all of us, ka kite anō.